That's what's up. Otherwise, C to the J is the name. Kamalamu Mosialazi Lasekaya, but I go by C to the J each and every time. This is a pam kwabahlali la we're about to talk is in this serious so find. But yeah, man, it's a great Wednesday, and I'm hoping wongumhlali ugrand apha because there's a lot happening in the world, and I don't like abahlali ndobani bengathi ndifuna babe concerned only ziways so I'm hoping ndobana you're dealing with whatever that's going down. And before the show starts namhlanje grand ndirhalele intobana sike sithozame for umzuzwana. There's a lot of people who fell down even nakuleya iveki. But if you would remember, a few weeks back we had a Khotman apha ekuthiwa nguXolani uMadinda lawe. Khotman lawe just lost his brother as well, on top of a lot of izinto ezenzekayo, losing DJ Dimples, Ricky Rika week before that, and a lot of other people in the hip-hop sector as well. So namhlanje I would just like to ingathi ngoku ziye zisibaninzi ezwe, and they are becoming a norm for us to just say yenzekile and just pass on. I find so I would like for us to just take a brief silence for that before the show starts namhlanje, you know. Otherwise, yeah, man, as weird as it might have been for you to see me taking a brief moment of silence, I don't like to just shut it all up. It's always around and each and every time now. So for us to take it live publicly, a moment of silence lawe, iyafuna express on aleyo iwe yoba even if awavalanga amehlo, even if usemotweni, even if usemsebenzini, it's within, it's in the mind, it's mental yonke le way. So I'm hoping ikhotmani kunye nabo bonke abanye abantu lawe abahlelelwe lifu limnyama, they can accept as condolences simane sizidlulisa, even if asikho kufitshane nabo, but we're hoping that they could feel our presence with them, and hoping that they could carry on le burden ingabasindi lawe, and le burden ingababangela into yobana ba-give up on ezi babhizi zizo iway nezi bazenzayo. So eyanamhlanje iway is basically us, me per se, talking to the arts community at large, because kukho into eyenzekileyo lawe during last week. Bang Entertainment, there's a lot of things that we usually talk about xa sifika apha kwesi space, you know, and maybe abanye abantu would not know into yobana how far we go after sithethile, and namhlanje it's one of those things that is evidence for into yobana after sithethile siye sizame ukwenza. Akusoloko kusenzeka, but siye sizame ukwenza, and I'm hoping into yobana nabanye abantu who usually talk actually get to walk, you know, because as we is ebahlalini ziye zisinde to the point into yobana ziphelela kwi-conversations as heads, ziphelela kwi-conversations as practitioners, ziphelela kwi-conversations as organizations, institutions, centers and whatnot. So as Bang Entertainment, siye sake sathi uthatha iwalk lawe saya eKomani, Queenstown, that's in the Eastern Cape, in the Chris Hani District ngokumasipala. So apho siye saya khona kukwi-office yakwa National Youth Development Agency, NYDA, and so phayana safika samkeleka ngezandla ezishushu. Kukho ikhotmane pha ephetheyo kulaa branch. I would not mention his name because I didn't get permission to talk about what is going to happen there, and as a result I would like to keep it very discreet indaba yoba ngubani owenza ntoni ngubani otheni. But the conversation we had there sparked into eye yabangela into yobana ngoku sijonge kwi-meeting apho khona iBang Entertainment alongside anyone else who's in the arts community interested to partake in the meeting are to discuss how the National Youth Development Agency can from within assess and perceive arts businesses that get to apply for their services. You know, there's a lot of services abanazo, and they are one of many government institutions that we are trying to negotiate and come into agreements with. Sizama ukubona into yobana how can we as the arts community help them understand us better, because yonke le nto isuke from ukubona mna into yobana ndiyangena kwezi offices but qho ndithetha soloko kucinga fanuba ndiyi-record label, soloko kucinga fanuba ndiyi-events organizer, soloko kucinga fanuba ndiyezinye zezi common, ndingayibeka ngolu hlobo, okanye most known arts businesses. And as a result, xa ndibeka eyam iproposal okanye ndipitsha, ufumanisa into yobana andi-understandwa, and as a result yonke le nto yam ayifumani le attention ifanele uyayifumana, you know. And so I decided into yobana okay, sure, ndiyaphuma mos kulaa bracket ka-35 in the next few months apha kuMay. Why not start with NYDA so that by the time sisiya nakwezinye offices zi-understande le nto into yobana andizami ukubeka eyam ibhizinesi in a position of uba mayibhenefithe kuyo yonke le nto ndizama uyinegotiatela, but ibonakale clearly into yobana this is about how arts businesses are perceived, not how I am perceived okanye how my business is perceived, but this is an issue for the arts community, the businesses, especially those behind the scenes businesses, as they understand how they operate, as they understand i-cash flow yazo uba ihamba njani, what makes them viable business ideas, what can contribute to their sustainability, what are the needs, njalo 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 njalo. And as a result iyonke loo nto indibangele into yobana ndike ndipleade man apha kwi-arts community into yobana xa ndizawuya kule meeting ndike ndifumane a broader view of zonke ezi zinto, because I am aware, as I said before, of my situation, of my business, and the people in my immediate locale lawe, abantu abalapha kufitshane kum, endiyaziyo into yobana neyakho ibhizinesi, it was a great business concept but zange approve endaweni ethile, and njalo 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 njalo. Even there's a hotman yalapha eDongwe ekuthiwa nguZipho Nqweniso. La hotman leyana has many a times apha kuLet's Ringa ivela comment about issues enazo about these government run institutions lawe okanye i-parastatals, if we may put it ngolo hlobo. Ile nto i-hotman ikhalile kakhulu ngendlela eye yafumana i-treatment ngayo kwezi ndawo. I-hotman ikhalile kakhulu ngendlela aba bantu abangakhathali ngayo, njalo 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 njalo. And so out of those conversations and out of those informative discussions, we have found into yobana it is a duty amongst us as well to educate ezi ndawo, because the duty does not solely lie on them to understand us as ababantu babaservayo, because bona they are to understand how to deliver the service, but they don't know how we are affected by the delivery of la service, because yonke leyo into we don't meet them halfway for uba mayenzeke. And so apha isikhalazo sisuka from the artists zisithi i-most yexesha kwezi ndawo, ezi institutions, abantu abahleliyo at the helm okanye kwezi positions ngabantu abangayi-understandiyo i-arts business. And so with that at the back of my mind, I come to you as the arts community, because ngoku ndilinikiwe ithuba lento yobana okay, educate us then. How are we to look at this? How are we to improve the service? How are we to make sure into yobana asinibeki kwi-barometer A1 with ezinye ezi businesses ezikhoyo? How are we to be lenient towards nina kwiindawo ezithile because ii-models zenu zebusiness azifani nezi njalo 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 njalo, so that yonke le nto xa ifika kwi-community iassesswe ngendlela different, you know. And it's not even about the arts sometimes, because ezinye zezi ndawo bendike ndaya kuzo ufumanisa into yobana ndifuna ukusapotwa ngewebsite umzekelo, immediately zange ndibuzwe nobuzwa into yobana yiwebsite yantoni lena ndizawuyenza. It was just taken on the surface into yobana, okay, you are doing business and you want a website, therefore it is an e-commerce website. And yonke loo nto, it was the wrong perception of eyam iproposal neyam ibusiness. So iye ke ngoku yenze a snowball effect apho khona xa ifika ngoku kulo mntu ufanele udizayina iwebsite, ndiyam-explainela into yobana yintoni le ndifuna idizayinwe, akakowutanga according to le nto, and as a result yonke ngoku le akakwazi uyiserva into. We ended up terminating la lento la contract, kwafuneka into yobana ndiphinde ndi-reapply, you know, for into engeyibuzwe kwaqala okanye izama uunderstandwa. So this is not merely an arts thing, but it's about ukudiscusswa kwezi zinto zi-understandwe, because we are running ii-businesses that are not common. We are running ii-businesses that are not broadly known zezi entities okanye even aba bantu bakontrolayo i-funds and i-support systems kwezi entities, you know. And so apha phakathi evekini ndiye ndabhala ileta ndayisasaza kwiindawo ezohlukeneyo. If you have not come across la letter, I would like to read that letter to you ngoku, so that you would be aware of what we are talking about namhlanje and what is going on namhlanje. Permission to share the screen. Let me just try to find out into yobana ndingakwazi na ukusisherisha esi screen. Let me see what is visible to abahlali. Yeah, that's the screen we want to share. But before sibe sifika kwesiya screen, let me just see. Yes, this is what we are trying to share namhlanje. I'm hoping that hopefully wonke umuntu uyayibona le way. I'm gonna read it as I go along, and then yonke lento i-explaineke why we are here today. Entrepreneurship is about identifying problems and providing solutions for them in order to exploit profit from the solutions and take all the risk that comes with providing them. This is entrepreneurship in general. The risk increases rapidly when your solutions are for the arts sector, especially the music industry. Ndizawumane ndi-explaina apha naphaya because I feel like apha bendizama ushwankathela for the sake of ileta ingabinde kakhulu. It ended up being 2 pages regardless, but still I'm gonna go into ezinye izinto that I wish to elaborate on. All investments are based on returns, and if the risk is overwhelming, it doesn't matter what the proposed project as potential return. Investors don't touch your idea. When we talk about investors, our first thoughts are private investors such as individuals, professionals, corporates, banks, and lenders. It's rare that we think about the state and the institutions it has set up to invest in the future of this country. In South Africa, this duty falls in the laps of many departments, agencies, and parastatals. The unfortunate reality for the arts sector, especially the unfortunate reality for the arts sector especially is that the decision making about which entrepreneur gets the country's investments for their solutions lies upon people with less knowledge about the value of the industry and its risks. Andiyi-explain yonke le because I feel like yile bendigqiboyithetha as my introduction. So it is near impossible to expect them to evaluate the viability of entrepreneurial solutions provided to them when they are only aware of audience-based business models of the industry. Ezi kuthethwa ngazo apha zinto yobana zi-audience based zezi zifana noba kufuneka kubekho umntu ongenayo, ogqiba kwakhe laa mntu simnike le service, ogqiba aphume. Such cases are like i-events companies. Funeka kubekho umntu ozohayarisha ii-services, be it ezo services kukhayarishwa out kwe-speaker systems, kukhayarishwa out kwe-lighting, kukhayarishwa out kwe-venue, kukubhukhishwa kwe-artist into yobana mayiyophefoma such and such, you know. Also there are these services ezifana nee-record labels whereby okanye mandingathi labels, mandiyithathe ngale ndlela bona badla ngoyithatha ngayo, which is recording studios, apho khona kukho umntu ongena emnyango, siyamrekhoda, ogqiba uyaphuma ushiye imali, njalo 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 njalo. Now when you talk about the behind the scenes, zezi services ke ngoku bangazaziyo because ixesha elininzi kwathina as ii-practitioners asizazi zonke ezi zinto. Even now I was recently asked about what goes behind the planning of the tour, what goes behind the execution of the tour, who do you call, zeziphi ii-entities eziba involved, ii-role players zingobani, what is a technical rider, what is a hospitality rider, njalo 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 njalo. And so I had to explain to the artist le ibuza le nto. So this means akohlukwanga kakhulu between the artists themselves and the actual people ii-artists eziye zifune uncedo kuzo. So when we present these businesses, kwathina siyaxakeka indlela yokuzipresenta because sinale mentality i-audience based, nathi asinayo le behind the scenes knowledge. And so kukho ii-businesses ezithile that need explanation for abahlali ukuze bazazi. When behind the scenes business proposals are pitched to them, how are they to identify game changers when the only game they know is what's presented in the final product and common saturated service spaces? Udem ngaba bantu bahleli kwezi office. For businesses such as music publishers, dance choreography, set design, etc., how are these people at the helm of these government institutions going to fulfill their task for the arts communities when even most artists know less about these career paths? After struggling for years to articulate my own solutions through educational programs from organizations such as Business and Arts South Africa, Arts and Culture Trust, just to mention a few, I have finally come to an understanding of how to make them sound business concepts on paper, how to make these concepts endinazo sound business okanye viable businesses okanye understood business concepts xa ndizibhala ndizipitsha, you know. However, still this wasn't enough to grant me investment from these government institutions. Mostly this is because the decision makers are still not educating themselves about the industry as I did, or I could just be a bad interpreter of my thoughts kwamna. So ezinto ezi njengoba ndisitsho, I take part of the blame. I am not perfect and I am not well vested in understanding as concepts kwamna, and so kwamna I could be at fault of not being able to interpret ezingcinga ndinazo okanye le business idea nale ndiyiranayo already, for them to understand it in a business concept okanye in a business perspective, into yobana this is actually something that could work. Also nabo bane-duty yento yobana bazi-understande ii-concepts esiza nayo from an artistic perspective, so that badibane nathi halfway because baphayana for ukusi-educate about i-business side of yonke le nto. Njengoba ndisitsho into yobana apha ndike ndalufumana uncedo from the Business and Arts South Africa, Arts and Culture Trust, ii-organizations ezi-based kwi-arts, to educate me how to write about the business that I'm running, arts based. Bona andibamentionanga apha kule letter, which is something that I wish abahlali could look over, because whenever we don't express how i-government institutions zisincede ngakhona, it seems like azisincedi. But this is the honest truth that I want us to look at. Mna ndincedakele zii-business sorry, zii-government institutions ezininzi, and I'm gonna mention that as I go along. Enye yazo njengoba ndisitsho uba ngu-NYDA lo ndizawuhlala naye, akanifandanga but undifundisile about the business. There was a course that I had to go through before I am able to apply to them, and as a result, qho xa ndi-aplaya nakwezinye iindawo ngoku, elaa phepha labo lindibonisayo into yobana I went through the business management course, I went through the Start Your Initiative business course, liyandincedisa ekufumaneni eziweyi, you know. And so zizinto ekufuneka sizithethile nezo into yobana siyancedakala. And as I said, I'm gonna go through that soon, ndibonise into yobana it's not only arts-based arts-based organizations or institutions eziye zisincede with the education and funding, but also nezinye ezi kwezi ndawo sithetha ngazo zikarhulumente ziyakwazi usincedisa. So continuing on with the letter, unfortunately for me, I will not get a chance to test this theory again with the National Youth Development Agency anymore, since I'm turning 35 in May this year. But you and others will send applications to their offices and others in attempts to get government support for their initiatives, and it would be disheartening for them to go through everything that I and many other hopefuls in the arts went through. So njengoba ndisitsho into yobana apha mna I don't stand to benefit anymore, and andisenangxaki naloo nto. This is something endiyitshoyo proudly into yobana I went through i-history yam no-NYDA ndikhwalifaya for into yobana bangakwazi undinceda ngokwe-age, but abakwazanga undinceda, and I don't look badly on them because kukho izinto ezininzi that could have been the reason for that, and I'm partly responsible for ezinye zezo zinto. Also, they are partly responsible for ezinye zezo zinto, and so I'm hoping to move past that with this coming forward to nina bantu bakwi-arts to assist me to help them help us as the arts community kule meeting. And so what I have done is to organize a meeting between my company, Bang Entertainment, and Queenstown's Chris Hani District branch of the Eastern Cape's NYDA. The agenda is simple: help them understand the differences between the operations, cash flow, sustainability, and viability indicators between different art businesses and common product and service businesses they usually receive applications from. My experiences are limited to my own and those I've come to know and hear of, but I'm very much aware that this is an issue that affects a community larger than I and the circles I've been part of. Hence, I'm coming forward with a request for you to advise, share your experiences, guide me, avail yourself for the meeting, and whatever else you think can help me make the most of this opportunity for the arts by presenting a broad view of arts businesses. Now, it is rare that those at the leadership positions are willing to hear us out. Wow, I made a mistake there. I need to rectify that. It is rare that those at the leadership positions are willing to hear us out and truly consider finding solutions to improve their service duty. Even rarer when the proposal is from the arts community. So ndiyayibulela le opportunity, and I'm hoping into yobana nabanye abantu can actually take this time and do yonke le nto ndiyicelayo so that lingadluli nje elithuba. I will be preparing for this meeting from here on going forward until it takes place on the yet to be decided day. Until then, I'm hoping I can get case studies from lived experiences on how we as the arts can be misunderstood and considered high risk, even when risk can be mitigated with a bit of fundamental support. That's sincerely yours, I, who was writing that. So bantu bakuthi, I'm hoping into yobana this letter was clear, this letter was to the point, because eyona nto ndiyicelayo ultimately apha kukuba ndincediswe nini as the arts community for into yobana ndipreparishele le meeting. If ufuna uba khona, you are representing a certain organization okanye you are representing a certain number of people away, that you would like to voice out on their behalf, ndingakwamkela mntu omkhulu, ndingakwamkela kakhulu, because I would like for that meeting to be impactful to the arts community more than ibe impactful kwezami endeavors, because I'm currently building a platform whereby SMMEs can benefit. You know, I'm gonna go through that soon kungekudala. So as a result, let me go through it now. It's something that is going to help abahlali esisebenzisana nabo, and I'm hoping abantu can go to this platform whenever they feel like abayi understand i-business okanye they feel like i-business yinto difficult to start, yinto enga-understandekiyo kubo. So I'm hoping that if you can come through and understand into yobana le platform ilapha for ukuncedisa, then I think ungakwazi uzibona uncedakala, even if as institutions azikuncedi, because apha this is the platform where we would be discussing izinto ezininzi ezincedisana noosomashishini, especially those from the rural areas, you know, because ndithetha nje ndingumhlali eSada lawe, abantu abaninzi kuba iSada iqavile apha naphaya, they would not consider it rural, but it is actually rural iSada as hell. You know, sikude kwiiway ezininzi, and so iiway ezininzi zifika kade okanye zifike sikwizinga lento yobana yeyi asinawuzenza apha, and then sifila like uba masiyozenza kwenye indawo, kanti these are the places we need to do as way. So apha ngale isayithi ndizama udemonstrata le into bendiyithetha nasekuqaleni yento yobana mna ndincedakele zezinye zezi institutions zikarhulumente. Umzekelo, if you look at the bottom page upper, you see a logo ka Department of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture. You see a logo ka Business and Arts South Africa. Yes, eza businesses businesses ze-arts, zii-businesses, I mean zii-institutions, zii-organizations ezincedisana nabantu kwi-arts. You would see into yobana apha a little promo there for a small fee technologies, but ke ziwe zakhona. You would see upper there's this project that we are busy with now. We are assisted by National Arts Council Payana, if you check at the bottom here. So zizinto esisebenzisana nazo kwi-arts organizations, but if you check there's something that I ought to show up that I think would also be relevant, because Ulendo, okay, let me not show it, but let me talk about it, because I don't think it is about permitted for me to disclose publicly e-communication layer, but let me just talk about what actually happened. Is that Ulendo ECDC is funding le program ipha kuthiwa ngubani nakanene, Eastern Cape Film Hub. That program there is ran by a very enthusiastic arts practitioner who is well versed into what the problems of the Eastern Cape are, who is well versed about what the problems of the artist in the Eastern Cape are. And as a result, I've been accepted to be incubated kula platform leyana, and so i-business yam will benefit from that. Ngu-ECDC kunye no-NFVF endibaziyo, I'm sure banazo nezinye stakeholders e-EC Film Hub, but phayana ndiyoncediswa ukubonisa into yobana a government institution that has nothing to do with the arts, which is ECDC, actually funds programs that has to do with the arts. And so ndizama uhighlighta laa nto bendiyithetha earlier on into yobana we don't bash these people, we don't bash these institutions, siyasebenzisana nezi institutions, but we are misunderstood, and as a result xa sifika kwezaa space funeka siyicommunicate eloo nto. And as a platform esiyifumanayo each time funeka sikwazi uzithetha ezo zinto, and this is such platform, and I'm hoping into yobana you would communicate apha kwii-chats, apha kwi-comment section ezakho ii-views ne-history oye wanayo, because you get a lot of people giving backlash to ile nto i-institution. Sorry, but ufumanise into yobana aba bantu aba they don't take blame to themselves, they don't take accountability for what they were supposed to do to qualify for his opportunity nakwezi ndawo babheshayo, you know. And so njengoba bendisitsho, there's this platform called SMMEC, which is SMME community, esizayiqala. If you didn't catch it, usezayifumana, you will see it kwiindawo ezininzi, ipromotwa on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It also has its own website whereby you will go and understand it better and actually benefit from yona. So I'm not going to talk about it namhlanje, but ivela namhlanje because that is one of the platforms ezininzi ezikhoyo phakathi kwazo apho khona unoncedakala for you to understand business better and for you to understand what you need to comply with xa usiya uyo-aplya kwezi ndawo sithetha ngazo namhlanje. And so zonke ezi ziway ezibangela into yobana umntu xa erana ibhizinesi in the arts space funeka abe, regardless of into yobana wenza eyiphi i-art okanye urana eyiphi i-arts business, abe ucomplyile through zona as a business entity, because akujongwa arts, akujongwa ntoni, kujongwa business entity. Which is why ke ngondisitsho into yobana when I approached ezinye zezi ndawo, mna ndiye ndingumntu osezazi into ezithile, ndabe ndikhwalifaya, ndabe ndicomplya ngokunokwam ukucinga. Now xa ndibethwa ngecango kwamna, what could have been the challenges? Sat with them and understood into yobana no man, it's not that bendingabetha, I mean bendingaqualify apha, but it's because ani-understandi le business concept. Also ke mhlawumbi nam xa ndiyibhalile ephepheni ani-understand indlela endiyibhala ngayo. Hence we need to have an off the record discussion, an off the paper discussion, whereby nizawuunderstanda le nto ndithetha ngayo into yobana i-operator njani na, i-cash flow venue yayo ihamba kweziphi na ile nto, i-revenue streams ihamba kweziphi ii-platforms of channels, you know. So we need to have those discussions with ezi ndawo so that abahlali bangafili like bavalelwa ngecango. But before that, we are setting up a platform esiyibiza as SMMEC, whereby before sibe ke ngoku aba bantu bayokhalaza kwezi ndawo, sibapreparishile for them to be business ready as well, because abanye babo abazukuzifumana as workshops, abazukuzifumana ezi webinars, abazuzifumana ezi road shows, especially ngoku now that i-COVID ikhona, akusatravelishwa kakhulu. Abanye babo abana-data to access as way online ngeli xesha zenzeka ngayo, because most yazo zi-live, azirekhodishwa for abantu babazi-access, njalo 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 njalo. There's a lot of solutions we are coming up with at the SMMEC platform, whereby we are trying to mitigate ezinye zezi challenges zivelayo for abantu abasezilalini, especially because ayisosimoko kakhulu idata kubantu abakufitshane kwii-offices zasetown. Umzekelo apha eQueenstown, I know of many spots that have free Wi-Fi, including ezikarhulumente, again, which is something that I would like to commend from them, because they have put up i-Wi-Fi hotspots lawe kwiindawo abasebenza kuzo for oosomashishini to just come through and rock lawe i-meeting online and rock ile nto live stream for whatever business agenda they are pushing okanye initiative. And so abantu who do not have i-data abahlala kufitshane netown abasokoli as much xa izinto zisenzeka emini, but thina le 75 rand ngendiye ndizawuya ngayo ndiphinde ndibuye ngayo ekomane ngeyile ngendithenge ngayo idata for into yobana ndiye eofisini endizawufika lawe kuvaliwe icango ndibone isayini ethethwayo phaa, because xa ungena kwiwebsayithi yabo awufiki zikhona izinto ezithi sivalile namhlanje asizuba khona, okanye ufumanise into yobana umntu o-responsible for i-department ethile okanye o-responsible for ii-projects ezithile uselivini ngoku. So if uyeza etawuni suba seza because azibikho as way. Naxa kutshintshwe iofisi ufike ube lost phaa etawuni, ufike uhambele ilize because uthi xa ufika phaa lawe iofisi itshintshiwe, ayichazwanga kwiwebsite, ayichazwanga kwii-brochures abanazo into yobana ngoku simuvile iofisi sisendaweni ethile asisekho kulaa ndawo. So there's a lot of things that the SMMEC platform or website is going to solve for abahlali lawe, but this is not about that. This is about us preparing each other as artists to ensure into yobana we comply for as way xa sithi siyozi-aplayela. And yonke loo nto izawukwenzeka with you guys helping out, with you guys coming forward, because if anizi mna ndizayothetha ezi zinto ndizaziyo, and at the same time ezi zinto ndizaziyo zi-limited to abantu endake ndadibana nabo, to eyam experience as well kweyam business. And so xa wena uaplaya lawe zibe ezakho ii-issues ezingazange zatheklishwa kwi-meeting efana nale ndizawuya kuyo lawe, aba bantu still basasheka bengekho aware yakho ibhizinesi. And as a result xa uaplaya wena kupopa nje eze-photography, kupopa nje eze-videography, kupopa nje eze-hiring of services, kupopa nje eze-hiring of ilento. If wena your business is behind the scenes lawe, I understand and awuzupopa. Ufumanise into yobana you've got a great game changing concept lawe, but awukwazi ukuyipasisa because ungulo wena unga-understandiyo lawe in terms of ukubhala okanye awu-understandwa phaa ngaphakathi, because bona bayaqala uyiva le nto uyithethayo, and as a result bebeyilindele uyikhomperisha kwenye ye-proposal ebezike zafika. Now xa bezibeka le yakho lawe ingathi ayizungenisa mali, you know. So zonke ezi way ezi, when we talk about them, we need to be realistic and kuyafuneka sincedisane, singamane sivela nje sithetha apha lawe kwezi platforms ingathi jonga siyalufuna utshintsho, but then utshintsho xa lufika lawe kusithiwa now that nifuna utshintsho masiyeni phaa ke ngosiyoxoxani kulaa meeting siyothethani ngolu tshintsho silufunayo uba sifuna uunderstandwa njani, sifuna ntoni, singaveli, you know. So I'm hoping into yobana singalithatha eli thuba and do that. I was hoping unamhlanje uzasincedisa ngaloo purpose, but let me just get a drink before ndifunde ii-comments eziye zavela namhlanje and shut this down, maybe elaborate on some of this way. Mntu ukhothekile lawe, dale lo qapha kwezi way, but akho smoke. I'm gonna show these as I read along. I'm glued skim sam. I'm hoping inoba nguwe lo uyi-one mntane mighty Solomons usekhona phaya, because I'm only seeing one person glued. I'm hoping isenguwe, but akho way. Zolani TKG Ponco esithi angakuphoxi lo mbane ngo-8 might be load shedding bro. Enkosi kakhulu Khotman. I'm not planning to stick around that long. Ngo-8 I'm hoping to be done by this. This I'd like to call it a show, but I'm not really sure because it's not organized as such, but yeah, askafika up. But this show is not supposed to be more than an hour. It's supposed to just be an hour and then ibe iphelile yonke lo way. So I'm hoping u-8 akazusibeka engxakini. Excuse me. Zolani TKG once again esithi ngcatsho sibuda bhuda yam, dope that uyanyakathisa, qhuba bhuti man, zizakade, I mean zizakude zigqogqeke ezindlebe zaba bantu, and we can't always blame, kodwa we have far-fetched approached. When they say educate them, then let's bro. Ndiyabulela kakhulu Khotman. I'm hoping you can send your Orlando your issues okanye your experiences regarding government institutions, so that sizithablishe nazo kule meetings sizaba nayo. I'm hoping that you can do that. If not, ube ngumntu okhoyo, because you are one of the powerful people we have in this music industry, and I'm hoping your word can carry weight la way, bayibone into yobana eziway ezi ziway ezi common in the arts community, as businesses ziwe ezingafihlakelanga, because I'm understanding that you as well are one of the people who are handling publishing administrative duties for artists ezithile. So that is one of the channels okanye career paths ezinga-understandwayo within this music industry, and I'm hoping that you can table it so that bayibone into yobana imali kwa-administration okanye kwa-publishing in general ingena njani, because that's one of the misunderstood and probably not known business concepts the music industry, you know. So I'm hoping in Dobana you can be part of that meeting and elaborate on that as well, because I will be touching on that. I am aware of Leaiwe. My business is publishing strictly. So I'm hoping in Dobana there could be more, because I know these are not the only business paths ezikhoyo. These are not only business concepts ezikhoyo that are not understood by abantu abasezi-ofisini, zikhona nezinye, and I'm hoping abahlali could touch on that. But yeah, we've come to the end of it. I think I've read all the conversations bezikhona kwi-comment section. Abantu bethetha nam. I intentionally ignored them because bendifuna uthetha straight up. Probably that's why nangoku ndinomntu oyi-one obukeleyo, because bendingacommunicate nabantu namhlanje, but I wanted to relay this as clear as possible, so that even if kuye kwakho umntu oye watuna in later on, okanye when we are offline thina yena ashiyeke eyobukela the video, I wanted that person to understand exactly what is articulated. What is articulated in this video, so that wonke umntu lawe xa eyibona le way angafili like funeka aqala ayojonga ii-comments ukuze understand okanye abe alinde for ixesha elide. But I'm hoping into yobana before abe uyafika apha kule ndawo sikuyo, whereby sithetha nge-comments nentoni, abe sewu-understandile umongo from the get-go. Yeah man, uLeander Lisicekiso sithi big up CJ, intle le nto uyenzayo bro. Ndiyabulela kakhulu Khotman. Yenye yee-brothers ezazindisapota ndiseselukha nje FM eziya, yayinengoma esithi qanda ne-aromat. Yeah man, ndiyabulela Khotman ukubona usekhona la way, and that you're still following up on the things that I get up to. I'm hoping nabanye abahlali could get onto this and bakwazi ukushare ezabo izitori. Yeah, Talish, ushare nezakho wena Khotman iways into yobana eyakho i-experience with ilento i-government institutions zithini, wabethakala phi, waze walifumana uncedo okanye or not. If awuzange ulifumana uncedo, do look out for eziwe sizenzayo. Bang Entertainment is getting up to a lot of things ezizawubangela into yobana abahlali bancedakale. Bang Entertainment is getting up to a lot of things ezizawubangela into yobana abahlali bafumane access to as way. There's a lot of izinto abahlali abaphoswa zizo because of access kuphela, not because abekho capable, not because abananto to show, not because abanawufunda if abayazi into ethile, but because they do not have access to his way, ufumanisa into yobana bayabethakala. And so Bang Entertainment is responsible for esi stream sinaso ngoku, is responsible for le way endirhalela uyibiza as a podcast but ayikafiki kwelo zinga for my liking. Bang Entertainment is responsible for a lot of that. So phaa ku-YouTube there is a page abanayo phaa whereby kuvezwa yonke le nto. Even this is live there as we speak, and it will be forever there. It's called channel yakhona, The Elements. So I'm hoping into yobana ungayifumana phaa yonke le way. Le ishow siyiqhubayo ke, it's called Let's Ringa. So I'm gonna try to conceptualize it as a show because ngendlela endiyibona ngayo iyakhula. I was just testing waters back then. Uyiqala kwam ndimane ndisithi nje let's ringa, but it seems like it's forming into a concept, and it seems like it could be something that we could get up to each and every week on a Wednesday, 7 p.m. up to 8 p.m. So I'm hoping that when it's properly structured and it's formed, you can catch it, because for now it's just me doing my rants and me doing interviews, okanye having chats with a few people that I know within the industry. So far usabone oyi-1, and I'm hoping to get to call more of abahlali la way, because I would like to discuss indaba ezi-relevant to the music industry, especially apha e-Eastern Cape. So ngoku ndi-involva wonke umntu for le iway, the arts community at large, but still ndinento behind eyami agenda ethi it's the music industry that is especially misunderstood behind the scenes, because wonke umuntu ulindele into yobana sonke sizawuvula istudio, wonke umuntu ulindele into yobana sonke sizawurana ii-events, wonke umuntu ulindele into yobana sonke sizawuhayarishisa nge-equipment. Akulindelwanga into yobana sizawuba zii-tour managers, akulindelwanga into yobana sizawuvula ii-booking agencies, akulindelwanga into yobana sizawuvula i-box office lento platforms, akulindelwanga into yobana sizawurana i-music publishing businesses, because all of these people don't know about that. And ixesha elinintsi kwathina as artists asizazi ezo way. So that's why I was hoping into yobana through Let's Ring at the concept, those are the type of conversations we will have, because there's a lot of ilento iway abahlala bangazaziyo. By the way, i-National Arts Festival eMakhanda ivulile ngoku, izawuvala soon i-applications. Ezi questions most yazo zivela xa ndithetha nabantu on how to apply, ndifumanisa into yobana abanye abantu abayazi yintoni i-technical writer, abanye abantu abayazi uba yintoni i-hospitality writer, abanye abantu abayazi uba yintoni i-stage management, ile nto i-stage planning, I mean, njalo 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 njalo. There's a lot of things that go into organizing an event. Abahlali, they just know ukuplaga izipika, babize i-artist, balayite umculo, bavale egeyithini bathi kungenwa ngemali ethile, iphelele apho. We need to learn. We need to understand there's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot of e-careers eziphayana. There's a lot of imali that goes into it. Way. I've just been lendo. Let me just show you right now. There's a lendo up. There's a festival ekuthiwa yi-Brighton Fringe Festival. England, as ubona phaya la way, East Sussex, ise-Brighton. Le way lena is one of ilento ii-platforms endiye ndamkelwa ngayo for le show bendike ndalento kuyo, ndayiperforma at the National Arts Festival last year, ndafumana an international award through Standard Bank Standing Ovation Awards. And so they noticed me from that. And so kuba bekwi-network A1 with the National Arts Festival eMakhanda as the Fringe Festivals, they noticed the award-winning content, wrote to me, let me know that I'm eligible to land, to perform there. And so this is the letter they sent me. I couldn't go. I am not going to go because andinayo iteam eyaneleyo to carry all the duties for me to have the support systems that I would need for me to carry out a full event that will represent me and the production company that I am from, which is Bang Entertainment, at that level, at that national scale. Yonke lento idinga into yobana sisebenzisane. Uqala zive just communicated the same thing just namhlanje. You can go on Facebook and check him out. Uqala zive the Positive Punk. Irhotmane just communicated that into yobana ayina management, and as a result inintsi into efunwayo when you are being asked to perform kwezi way internationally. And so mna ndinayo yonke laa nto, ndiyakhwalifaya, but andinabantu bokuyenza. I cannot do it all by myself. Ndayenza ndodwa eMakhanda just to show abahlali into yobana it's possible, but I cannot do it on my own when it needs to be carried out in a professional manner, in a high scale, in an upscale level. You find? So I'm gonna do this live now, ndilapha South Africa, whereas I could have been in England, with abahlali balapha, Eastern Cape, taking abahlali on a road internationally and actually tour. Because that's not only one show that I was offered. I was offered the festival entirely. Iqala ngoMay iyophela ngoJune. I am to pick dates and venues and say into yobana ngexesha elithile ndingapha, ngexesha elithile ndingapha, ngexesha elithile ndingapha. And then in between there are a lot of opportunities that go into the road, which is something that I think abantu abaninzi don't take advantage of, because wonke umuntu is looking to get signed, but ke namhlanje that's not the case. I was going to talk about into ezininzi that I think is irrelevant to future conversations zika Let's Ring, but let's focus on us not having the proper support structures and us missing opportunities such as le bendigqiba uyisherisha because we don't have enough production capacity on our own. And so we need to come together. We need to pull through. Abantu bendibapitshile for le way failed me. I am not going to mention their names because we are still in many relationships and we are still building. But I want to mention that because aba bahlali la way don't know what's expected of them, and as a result yonke into bayibeka emagxeni omntu oyi-one. Aba bahlali don't know the responsibilities and what they are accountable for, and as a result when into ifunyenwe nguwe they think that it's yours. But yonke into nowadays you should not think of it as ones, you should think of it as many. Yinto yabantu abaninzi into ngoku ize nomntu oyi-one. We put each other on sise Eastern Cape because that's what works, not because we know ubani, we care about ubani. No, the industry, as I have illustrated many times before in conversation, in action, and in many forms, ayidingi mntu oyi-one ukuze ime, but idinga sonke kwiindawo esikuzo. Ayidingi i-vicinity ethile, ayidingi i-clique ethile, but iyamdinga laa mntu kulaa ndawo akuyo, iyayidinga laa clique, iyayidinga laa location, but in conjunction okanye in collaboration with ezinye. So iyonke lento idinga into yobana for us to actually stand together and make sure into yobana ziyenzeke ezi way. Hence nakule imeeting ndiza ebantwini ndisithi kubizwe mna, ewe, but ndinqwenela into yobana nibe khona because ayoyam i-industry, ayizozam ii-arts. Njengoba nditshilo kwale into akuzubhenefitha mna xa igqibekile yona. We are drafting and conceptualizing ngoku and shaping how things are done so that abantwana abalandelayo babenefite. Because ndibuzile apha khange ndifumane impendulo, ndisithi makuze abantu noba bangaphi abake babhenefitha in the last 5 years kwa-NYDA besithi bona ndenza into erelated kumculo. and ayonto idibanise na-recording studio, ayonto idibaniselene na-events, ayonto idibaniselene na-hirisha nge-equipment nentoni, but ndikwi-music industry and ndiaplaye nge-concept ye-business ndisithi ndenza le way, ogqiba kwam nda-apruvwa. No one showed, because that's the case as it is. Asamkeleki kwezi institutions because asaziwa, and this is the platform for us to do it, to educate abahlali into yobana kukho into elolu hlobo, kukho into elolu hlobo, indlela eyenza ngayo imali le nto ihamba apha kwezi ndlela, kwezi ndlela, kwezi ndlela, indlela eyenza ngayo imali le nto ihamba apha kwezi ndlela, kwezi ndlela, kwezi ndlela. And so if bayazazi ezo zinto, xa ipitshwa ngokule nto bayakwazi ukujonga ngaphezulu kwale nto yoba okay, awukakwazi uyibhala le nto but siyayazi le business, now let's try to help you, because they do site visits baze bazokubona uba uyayenza na already le nto na. If uthi uyayenza, they do have interviews with you trying to find out into yobana uyayi-understanda na le business. So if awukwazi uyibhala but uyayi-understanda and they also understand it, they are then in a position to understand into yobana okay, siyammeasure lo mntu, siyameta lo mntu, siyambona uba uyayi-understand okanye akayi-understand. But when they don't understand, the duty is on you now to make them understand. And if kwawena uthetha apha naphaya abakwazi ukwenzelelela bayibone into yobana no, yena shem usabetha kalapha nalapha ekuyithetheni nasekuyibhaleni, but based on the evidence esinayo siyambona uba uyayenza and capable uba angayenza, because we've heard, we've seen, we now know. We are in a position to help. Zininzi ke indlela ekuncediswa ngazo kwi-institutions ezinjengeya, but zonke ezo zinto zawuthethwa SMMEC platform. Website uzayifumana, uFacebook ukhona already, uTwitter ukhona already, uInstagram ukhona already. You will get the information. For now, follow uBang Entertainment, ukhona nguye lo uzizisayo zonke eziwe. On Facebook nguBang Entertainment, akakabikho kuzo zonke ezinye ii-platforms ezinto ezibalileyo. Iwebsite yakhe naye iyeza, it's gonna come through apha unyaka ungekafiki lawe, whereby uzazifumana zonke eziwe endaweni eyi-one. For now, you can check out le kaSmack iwebsite lawe, it's smmec.co.za. It's coming soon. If you want to be notified xa ilauncha, you just fill in your emails there, and then izawuthi xa ilauncha lawe ube ngomnye wabantu bokuqala ukuyazi uba okay ifikile ngoku, and then you can get to enjoy and educate yourself about how the businesses are ran, not only arts businesses but businesses in general. The Elements is the page ka YouTube uBang Entertainment ayiranayo. You can check it out as well. Ekuhambeni kwexesha ndizazisusa ezi ii-videos apha kuFacebook zizawufumaneka phaa kuphela, and so you best follow that, so that if you want to refer back to such conversations esibanazo kule siringa nakwezinye ii-podcast ezisezayo from Bang Entertainment, you can check them out there. Otherwise, see to the J Sibusiso Kamlifi. Ndiyabulela kakhulu ngabantu abaye bamamela. I think there are comments eziye zakhona. Let me just read that one and then sign out. Just an idea. As ixesha lihamba, invite artists xa uvala ne-show, just to drop some bar. Le brother ibhale bras. I-artists zidrophe some bras. No, good man lawe. I'm sure ubufuna ukuthi bars, but ke sawusomara siyithatha ngolo hlobo because we are not a nudity show. So ibingazokwamkele ke ye-bras zidrotshwa live lawe. But ke yeah man, I've seen that done a lot, and I'm trying to be as unique as possible. Enkosi kakhulu nge-input wena Hotman. You know, as ulendo uBang Entertainment, there are a lot of izinto ezikhoyo already out there, and we are not trying to duplicate, we are trying to fill the void. kukho indawo nee-conversations ezingahanjwayo. And so we are hoping as Bang Entertainment, we are the ones that set umzekelo, and for us to trailblaze kahle kahle, you find, and actually be the ones to step on the moon qala, so that abahlali who follow okanye who do these things emveni koko know into yobana iBank Entertainment yayizenzile as way and yayizenze ngolu hlobo, so thina masingazenzi ngolu hlobo. I want people to learn from what I'm doing. I want people to understand into yobana what I'm doing is not unique. It can be done by anyone. What I am doing is just saying it is not being done currently. And so if you want bars and you want intros ne-outros lawe zelento ze-musical talent, there are platforms zininzi zikhona. I'm not gonna reference them ngoku because andizicingi at the top of my mind, otherwise I am not one to pull back from ukureferensa ii-platforms zabanye abantu. I do it a lot. I'm even currently producing something that will do that and actually put abahlali on. So we are busy with that as well. So be on the lookout, man. The Elements, YouTube, Bang Entertainment on Facebook. There's a lot of platforms that we're gonna be bringing in, and so for iway ezinjalo mntakwethu, uLet's Ring, I won't deal with that. Ndiyayibulela kakhulu suggestion, and I'm hoping ukhona omnye umuntu kwaba bazenzayo as way oyithathayo lo notice, so that anikhangele, because I know as artists those are the platforms we need. But as iBank Entertainment, we are trying to put the money on the table of the artist, and so when you go live, we want to pay you. When you play on the background of ishow elolu hlobo, your music plays, we want to pay you because we are available in the publishing space. And so that's what we deal with, copyrights and actually paying abahlali for the work that they do. Without performances as live, without ilendo, performances as ilendo ezisereyidweni, but for us to actually distribute imali, because there are many platforms, there are many streams of revenue, zinintsi indlela zokwenza imali ungakhange wabuqabela eqongeni, ungakhange wabuvela eTV, ungakhange wabudlala ereyidweni. And so iBank Entertainment is responsible for ukuveza ezo zinto. That's what we will be doing. Otherwise, that was me signing out. Ndiyabulela kakhulu kuye wonke umuntu ewamamela, hopefully nozawulandela abukele le way, eziwe zizawuhlala zikhona Facebook, YouTube, kulapho uzazifumana khona ku-YouTube. Facebook zizawuhlala temporarily but zizawuhamba zisuswe. Do check us out, do follow us. Ndiyabulela kakhulu ngayo yonke into eniyenzayo lawe kwindawo enihluke kuzo.